What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Abdullah with another video for the channel, and welcome back to the Brown Boy Sports Talk. And then today, guys, we have a very special guest, our boy Ane from high school. Razza here as well. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Razza?
I'm doing pretty good. Excited to talk about the Lakers' dream offseason or
Mm-hmm.
ideal offseason.
Before we get in this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more NFL and NBA content as we try to push out as much fire content out there as possible. And let's roll the intro. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Abdullah and your boy Razza. All right. We have two Lakers fans here. Razza, what do the Lakers have to do this offseason?
All right. So first, it's going to be a long summer for the Lakers and Rob Pelinka. First thing we got to do, sign LeBron James to an extension. Because if we don't sign him, he can sign an extension first week of August, which is like 5 weeks from now. If he doesn't sign it during the entire season, he can become an unrestricted free agent, which means he can leave the Lakers next summer. So next summer, we basically only have Anthony Davis and THT on the books right now. We have like a lot of money. So first thing first, we have to sign LeBron James to an extension. Second thing, the mid-level exception, which is worth about 6.3 million. We need to convince Malik Monk to take a discount because on the open, he's an unrestricted free agent. We don't have the bird rights for him, so we cannot match whatever he gets. So we need to convince him to take like a hometown discount and try to sign him for 6.3 million because on the open market, they're saying he's worth about like 15 mil. So it's a big difference. But if he reports came out that he wants to stay with the Lakers and he will be taking a pay cut if it's not a big difference. So that's number two. Number three, we gotta get younger, bro. Like this season, it was like everybody was like old. Everybody was like 35 or
A
above.
dinosaur
Like
team.
Rondo, Carmelo, Wayne Ellington, all the role players were like 35 plus, like 34 plus. We got to get younger, more youthful, more like energetic around our big pieces, and add like 3 and D guys. The guys I was potentially looking at free agents were the likes of Malik Monk, obviously, Dennis Schroeder, uh, Carmelo Anthony, bring him back, Bryn Forbes, Marquise Morris, who played for us a couple years ago. Gary Harris is a good name. Bruce Brown, Danny Green, if he gets bought out by the Memphis Grizzlies since he got traded from Philly to Memphis on draft night. One of the best names that I think we need to go at is Victor Oladipo. Nicholas Batum could be a name. Hassan Whiteside could be a name. JaVale McGee could be a name. Dwight Howard, if he wants to run it back, which I think he does, we can keep him. Dwight is a great guy. He's a great Hall of Fame potentially. He's just a great guy off the court, on the court, like brings energy and stuff. I would love to keep him. But we need to like sign like a guy. We need guys who can shoot and play defense, 3 and D. And they need to be kind of young, not like 35-year-old guys. That's pretty much it from my side. I know you want to add on to it.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, there's nothing that much to add. I mean, I completely agree with you. We need to get. I think the most important point is we need to get younger. Like you were saying, all our what do you call it? All our starters were 35 plus. Some of our role players were even, guys coming off the bench were 35 plus. So I mean, it's just not looking good. You see young teams nowadays, and it's all just building around, the youth, getting good, younger players and building that up eventually. So, I mean, I think that just leads back into what you were saying. THT needs to step up. Kendrick Nunn needs to step up as role players. We didn't see a lot of Kendrick Nunn this past season because of his injuries. He did he did pretty well. He was on the Heat before that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I mean he was on the Heat with them, and we all saw how well they did in the bubble. So he needs to come. He's gonna come back from his injuries. He needs to step up. THT, like I said earlier. Obviously, we need to re-sign Malik Monk. He's a really good role player. He's completely exploded off this season. Obviously, our top three guys are LeBron, AD, and Westbrook. But after that, it's Malik Monk. Malik Monk is right there. And continuing on with the young guys, I mean, with draft night going on and all these trades and free agency deals coming in and whatnot, I mean, I think the most exciting part for me personally is guys, seeing guys like Scottie Pippen Jr. and Sharif O'Neal coming into the league, into the Lakers G League, Summer League, whatnot. I mean, it's going to be exciting to watch, Scottie Pippen Jr., obviously son of Scottie Pippen, and then Sharif O'Neal, obviously son of Shaquille O'Neal. So both, really good players. So can't wait to see how their, sons turn out, and hopefully they can help us build our team in the years to come.
Another guy I don't know if you guys mentioned, Austin Reeves. He had big shots last year. And the Christie guy you guys drafted, a shooter supposedly, second round. Again, these young guys, we'll see what they can do in the Summer League. Hopefully, again, they can, get another Summer League champions like they did with Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball a couple of years ago. But the Lakers, it all starts with the new man at head coach, Darvin Ham. I wanted your guys' thoughts on him.
So he brought what he specialized in, like, defense. We saw him with the Bucks. He helped develop Giannis Antetokounmpo, his jump shots, his defense. Making him 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time MVP, Finals MVP, helping the likes of Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and them. I think not only does he bring his defensive pedigree into the Lakers, he can get veteran guys like Wesley Matthews, like players who played for the Bucks who were really good defenders. He can bring those guys into the Lakers because he has connections with them from the Bucks. And then one more thing that I think he's really, really going to be helpful for Anthony Davis, because Giannis and AD are alike in some ways. So AD could be helped a lot with Darvin Ham since Darvin Ham helped develop Giannis Antetokounmpo, like his jump shot. Because last year we saw AD shoot like 19% from three. That cannot happen again. If that happens, we're not winning more than like 30 games. So we need AD to develop and touch the ball a little more than he did for the entire summer, which is 2 months he didn't touch the ball. So he needs to do better. And we just hope that something crazy happens with Russell Westbrook and he just starts shooting. He's just making threes.
Your thoughts on Russell Westbrook being hyped up by Coach Ham? You think that was just a thing, to hype up his own players, or what?
I think it was basically like a smoke screen, because the Lakers still want to trade him. It was just to show other GMs, other teams, that we will keep him, just so they don't know that we want to trade him. But we know, the Lakers fans know, we're trying desperately to trade Russell Westbrook. He does not fit with our big three, with our system, with Darvin Ham, because he does not play any defense. He cannot shoot. There's like specific guys who work with LeBron, 3 and D. If you have shooters around LeBron, it's over. But there is no shooter, so.
Ane?
Yeah, I mean, completely agree with that. Westbrook needs to go. I mean, I think that's
straight up.
I mean, it needs to get done. Obviously, he just opted into his player contract. So that's not going to happen soon enough. But I mean, it needs to happen eventually because, like Razza was saying, Westbrook, his play style it doesn't fit well with LeBron or AD. He's back in OKC, back with the Rockets, I believe, as well. He wasn't the solo guy, he wasn't the guy, but every time he had the ball, it was, okay, you inbound the ball to me and I'm going to run straight across the court and try to dunk it or try to get an and one on someone. And, it doesn't work like that anymore. That was back then. That was back when, you were in your prime. You can get those crazy dunks. You got to admit, you're not in your prime anymore. You need to develop and you need to change your game. it can't always be the same. You can't be, just constantly driving in, hoping that you're going to make it somehow. Because, in his prime years, he was never really shooting the ball much. Of course he was shooting the ball. He was shooting the ball well, but that wasn't his main, that wasn't the main aspect of his game. He was a slasher at best. He could get to the rim, and he could get to the rim very well. That's why he was an exciting, explosive player to watch, comparable to John Morant nowadays. But everyone knows, you can't keep doing that forever,
Yeah.
If he wants to stay, which let's be honest, we don't want him to stay. He's gonna have to, unless Razza, like Razza said earlier, unless something miraculously happens with Westbrook and he completely changes his game. There isn't much more to be said, to be honest. He needs to change his game. It doesn't feel well with LeBron or AD. He needs a more of a Draymond Green type role. Draymond Green was with the Warriors this playoffs. He was more of a facilitator at most of the time. So that's what Westbrook needs to be for LeBron and AD if he wants to stay.
I agree. I think Westbrook, a lot of people, I feel like he does get a lot of hate. I don't think he's the sole reason why the Lakers performed so bad last year, but it did contribute to the fact that, when he's just trying to do everything himself, and it doesn't help that he's making that much money, it just makes him look more bad. So, Razza, I just don't know with Russell Westbrook, man. I know you weren't a fan of it when the Lakers and Wizards made that trade. You and I were talking and you hated it, but is there anything that this man can do that could flip the switch, or is it just a lost cause?
All right, so this is my thoughts with Russell Westbrook. Everyone says he's out of his prime. I don't think he's out of his prime. He just doesn't fit with the Lakers. What we're trying. He's a great player. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a top 75 player. He's like a top 10, top 11 point guard of all time. He's like the most explosive point guard ever. John Morant's gonna be there when he retires, but right now it's Westbrook, D Rose, John Wall, prime John Wall. Not anymore, obviously. But he's not, like, with all due respect, he's not a winning player. Like, he's more of like a stats guy. I'll bet you money right now, if you put him with like the Pistons or like one of the worst teams like the Rockets or anybody, he'll still get you a triple double. He'll average like 25, 11 and 11. He can still do that. He did that with y'all like a couple years ago. But he took y'all to the playoffs. That's his ceiling. He can do well in the regular season, exceed the expectations and take y'all to the playoffs. But then, like, that's all he can do. Like, he's only a regular season statistics player. But then, like, we all look at his stats, like, he averaged a triple-double, 20, 11, 11, whatever he averaged. But then we don't see how many turnovers he had. If he had 11 assists, he had 6 turnovers too. 11 minus 6 is 5, so that's a +5, not a +11. He needs to control. I think he's a lost cause with the Lakers because he's, 13, 12 years into the NBA. He's not changing himself, like, over 3 months like this. He's won MVP doing this. He's been like a 10-time All-Star doing this. He's been an All-NBA player, All-Star. He's got all the accolades he has, Hall of Famer, NBA top 75. That's all because what he is. Why would he change himself I know it's greater for the team, but he's achieved all of that being that guy. He's not going to change over 3 months, So I think he's a lost cause with the Lakers. But if he goes to a team that's like not competing for a championship with not a big like spotlight like the Lakers are, like a big stage, I think he can still put up great numbers and take him to like 7-8 seed. I think he still can do that, but not with the Lakers.
Well, we talked about the Lakers offseason. Now we gotta get some record prediction. Let's talk about it. And I gotta start off with you first. If the Lakers, let's say, don't make any crazy moves because they're limited in cap space, what is their record next year?
That's a tough one. I mean, okay, LeBron's playing at the same level as he was last season. We still got similar players, or about, and like,
I'm hoping AD stays healthy.
And AD is healthy.
That's a big what if.
Yeah, and AD is healthy. I mean,
You got to factor in a lot of things.
I mean, all I can say is if all those things fall into place, which hopefully they will, we're gonna have a winning record and we're gonna be a top seed. That's that. It might be a bold prediction, but I mean, then again, we've seen it happen before. LeBron playing at a high caliber level, young guys, good role players, and AD being healthy. The most important thing, we've seen it happen before. We've seen them, overpower the league and rise to the top. And we even saw them, LeBron and AD by themselves, winning an NBA Finals. So I mean, I think it's the repeat year for us. Yeah.
Razza, what about you, man?
I don't think we have enough sources or resources or whatever you want to call it to trade our no one wants Russell Westbrook, with all due respect. I don't think we have I don't think we can dramatically change our roster comparing to last year. So last year we won 33 games. If AD stays healthy, which is I hope it happens, but doesn't seem like. And LeBron plays the way he is playing with Russ, if he even plays better, the best I can see us going. Best. Obviously, I would want us to win 60 games. Obviously, I'm a Lakers fan. I would love to see that. But realistically, my record prediction is 40-42. And we being the 7th seed.
Oh, okay. I mean, the West, they still have Golden State, just won the championship. The Clippers just got John Wall. And who else? The Suns, Jamal Murray's coming back from injury. So it's still going to be tough. But again, it just goes back to the fact that Anthony Davis, is he going to be on the court? Because a lot of people, all the haters out there are just calling for this guy's name night in and night out. All the Anthony day-to-day Davis and Russell Westbrook being clowned on. I really think if they just somehow can put it together, I think this is a contending team. But again, it all depends on if they make those minor moves this offseason with that limited cap space they have. But thanks again, guys, for giving us your insight. These Lakers fans right here, although they're from the East Coast, they still support a team that's on the West Coast. But that's a different story for another day. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more NFL and NBA content as we try to push out as much content out there as possible. And before we're out, do you guys want to say anything?
I was just going to say there's one positive thing. Russell Westbrook's gone next year. I'm happy about that.
Nah.
I mean, go Laker Nation, All I got to say.
I got you. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.